Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Bitcoin is pumping like a mofo. We just recaptured 67,000, 70,000 now in play. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF investors keep buying despite the plummeted Bitcoin outlook. We'll also be discussing spot Ether ETFs unlikely to be dramatic and could be steady capital, according to the Binance CEO. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin crazy tight Bollinger Bands, pointing to $190,000 Bitcoin price target. Send it. And speaking of bullish price predictions, Bitcoin price set to skyrocket to $750,000 per coin, according to this crypto expert. We're also going to be discussing the latest regarding Trump announcing a plan to do a Saylor for the U.S. Treasury at a Bitcoin conference. Max broke this story. He tweeted it on July 15th, and just the other day, Dennis Porter confirmed with his sources. We'll also be speaking the latest controversies between Trump and Bukele. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes and go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Today is pod episode number 1705. I'm your host, JV. It's July 19th, 2024, and another weekend pump. It was last week we had the pump, which started on a Friday as well, and we pumped all throughout the weekend. We've had a hell of a week in the Bitcoin market, so let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. As you can see on Coin360, Bitcoin trading above 67 Gs, up 5.5% for the day. We got Ether, Solana, XRP, Cardano, Litecoin, all of the major cryptos pumping and in the green. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com, we're sitting at a 2.4 trillion market cap. The Bitcoin market cap's at 1.3 trillion. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got Bonk up 21%, we got Mog up 21%, and we got Brett up 16%. Below that, say Pepe and Floki. Which alts family, if any, are you bullish on for this particular bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective, let's start on the daily. Virtually everything is in the green. 99% of the market practically respective gainers here. You could also see on the monthly, it's now maybe 60 to 70% in the green, maybe 20 to 30% in the red. So we finally flipped bullish once again. Now checking out the crypto greed and fear index, we're currently back in greed at a 60. Yesterday a 61. Last week a 25 in extreme fear, and last month a 64 in greed. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price action will likely take us throughout this month of July? Holla at your boy. But anyways, let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies. We'll also be pulling up some of the live charts. So here we go. Headline reads here: Bitcoin bulls charge towards 67 now as the Bitcoin price eyes a new 1 month high. That's right, 67,000 is the new 1 month high. Look at this 1 hour chart. Look at those bullish green candles. Bitcoin spiked higher at the July 19th Wall Street Open as confusion reigned over whether the U.S. President Joe Biden would abandon his re-election campaign. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go. TradingView tracked a resurgent Bitcoin price action, challenging 1 month highs. Bitcoin now up over 5% on the day as we continue to pump. And you already know things are extremely bullish, as they should be, in the markets. Quoting Charles Edwards of Capriole Investments, did some institution work wake up and decide Bitcoin is a safe haven? I think so. Decentralized store value as global tech and banking systems fail from Microsoft's blue screen of death. Edwards referred to the ongoing fallout from an IT collapse involving Microsoft CrowdStrike software. I'll tell you this, when it comes to Microsoft, trust nobody. You all know Bill Gates is the man behind that company, right? And that's one mofo we don't trust, which has impacted transport, banks, and other businesses worldwide. At the same time, confusion swirled over the fate of U.S. President Biden's re-election campaign, with conflicting reports over whether he would continue. His opponent Trump sparked a crypto market rally last week after surviving the assassination attempt. That's right, that was actually the tipping point of this bull run we're experiencing right now. Right after the failed assassination attempt, everything with Bitcoin and crypto has been going crazy, and we love it. Now, live data from CoinGlass showed Bitcoin eating through the overhead ass liquidity. Shorts were beginning to feel the heat with 24-hour cross-crypto short liquidations nearing 170 million. I'm pretty sure we've probably crossed that since then. Bitcoin's 4-hour is trying again after some consolidation, according to Big Cheds. And trader analyst Scott Melker, known as the Wolf of All Streets, he updated his coverage of the Bitcoin RSI, continuing in the bullish mood. Now, optimism also flowed into other circles, including trading firm QCP Capital, which began to entertain the idea that Bitcoin has completed its post all-time high drawdown. The bottom is in. We tap like 53.5 family. Bullishness from here. Quoting him here. Price action this week has been rather resilient, especially against the backdrop of continued Mt. Gox supply and tanking equities. Could this be a sign that the market has shaken off most of its worries? Let me know your thoughts, fam. I think it is a clear sign as we continue to pump. But anyways, also I want to share with you something here, which I found very hilarious, and I think you may find it hilarious too. If you want to know the true reason Donald Trump is wearing something over his ear during the speeches, check this out.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
It's a Michael Saylor earpiece. She's one of the most hilarious posts I've ever seen. But anyways, family, let's check out some of the live charts. Here we're looking at the 1 hour. I mean, every chart right now on Bitcoin is bullish like a mofo. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, we got Bitcoin trading hovering at around 70,000 right now. You can see how many green consecutive candles do you see on the 1 hour chart? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the 10th one was finally at itty bitty red, having a little struggle at the 70,000 major psychological resistance, but only a matter of time before we break through. Let's zoom out. They say when in doubt, zoom out. Let's check out the 4 hour chart. And again, this is live and in the flesh right now, brought to you by TradingView via Coinbase. We had 3 consecutive greens on the 4 hour. Look how big the most previous 2 greens were in the past 8 hours. Pretty lit, family. So you already know, looking extremely bullish on the 4 hour chart. And let's continue zooming out. We're going to look at the 1 day, the 1 week, and the 1 month. So this is the 1 day, and if I see any targets, I'll read them to you. On the daily chart, we do have a south target sitting at 47.7, and looking bullish as well, in my opinion. You can see big green daily close candle, and I think this weekend we're going to continue to pump. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let's really quick check out the 1 week. And looky here, massive bullish flag formation, massive target, cup and handle, sitting at $126,200. If you'd like to see $126,000 biddy, holla at your boy. It's only a matter of time. You can't stop the inevitable. Bitcoin's going up forever because fiat has no bottom. It's going up forever, Melda. And checking out the 1 month, look at this. We did have 7 green consecutives as well here. Then we had a red, green, red, and we're printing bullish again in the green. Let's see if we can re-enter price discovery here sometime soon. Let me know your thoughts. Price discovery means entering a new all-time high. That's when things get very, very exciting. The current all-time high is sitting at $73,800, which we tap mid-March. And speaking of pump watches, that's what makes the pump watches so exciting. When we enter price discovery, those are the most lit. So you already know. Lots to cover. Big news to cover today, family. So let's dive into the next story regarding BlackRock. Headline here reads, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF investors keep buying despite plummeted Bitcoin outlook. That's right. BlackRock spot. Bitcoin ETF fund has continued to gather millions from investors since last Monday, despite the sharp fall in the positive Bitcoin commentary. The BlackRock issued iShares Bitcoin Trust IBIT saw another 107 million in inflows July 18th, marking the 9th straight day of inflows, according to Thomas Farrer, co-founder of crypto data platform Apollo. 7 of those 9 days saw flows over 100 million, a feat rarely achieved in the ETF industry. However, crypto traders aren't showing as much optimism. The amount of positive Bitcoin commentary on social media has slumped compared to 4 months ago. Well, I guess that is true. up till today, because now everyone's bullish once again. I mean, 70 G's, baby. Quoting market intelligence firm Sentiment, positive commentary towards Bitcoin has plummeted despite the mid-sized crypto market bounce this week. Many traders, particularly on Binance, are opening shorts with the expectation of Bitcoin dropping again. And guess who is getting wrecked right now? Shorts, shorts, shorts. What would Bart Simpson say? Eat my shorts. Just saying. Not often I quote Bart Simpson, but hey, the amount of positive Bitcoin comments made on social media is about a third of what it was 4 months ago, according to the data from Sentiment. Sentiment typically measures social sentiment from social networks such as Reddit, X, 4chan, and Bitcoin Talk. Interestingly, Sentiment revealed a surge in the Bitcoin by the dip mentions on these platforms at the start of the month when Bitcoin started following its near 5-month low of 53.6, the current recent bottom. And of course, we have the Crypto Greed and Fear Index bounced back today with a 60 out of 100. The current score is a strong rebound from the extreme fear zone reached July 12th with a score of 25 out of 100, the lowest it has been since January 2023. And that's why I personally love the Crypto Greed and Fear Index as a metric, because when we hit that extreme fear or extreme greed, that means most likely something big is going to happen in the market, which is precisely what happened. We pumped. So there you have it, crypto fam. But anyways, fam, let's keep it moving. We do got a lot to share. We discussed the latest with BlackRock. Now let's discuss the latest with the Ethereum ETF, because word on the street, by this Tuesday, we're going to have the green light, and the Ethereum ETFs will be trading. In fact, the major asset managers, including BlackRock, already disclosed and announced their fee schedule with it. I believe theirs is 0.25%, as we covered in yesterday's pod. But let's dive a little deeper here. This is according to the Binance CEO. Spot Ether ETFs unlikely to be dramatic, but would get steady capital. So yeah, so as spot Ether ETFs inch closer to going live, again, it could happen as soon as Monday or Tuesday this week, according to the top Bloomberg ETF analysts, Seyfarth and Balchunas. I covered that in detail in yesterday's pod. But on July 10th, Bitwise Chief Compliance Officer Catherine Dowling noted the spot Ether ETFs are closer to the finish line, highlighting they may go live very soon. According to the executive, there are fewer issues in the back and forth between the ETF issuers and the United States SEC, please let me be. On July 15th, the SEC requested issuers submit their final S1 filings by July 16th to launch the new funds on July 23rd. With the launch of the ETFs coming very soon, many shared their predictions on how the new investment vehicles for ETH might perform. And in a previous interview, crypto investment firm MV Global's managing partner Tom Dunleavy predicted that the spot Ether ETF can see 5 to 10 billion in inflows in the months after the launch. The executive believes this will positively affect ETH, sending the crypto asset's price to new all-time high. And while some believe the initial effect will be grand, the Binance CEO believes it might not have such a massive impact initially. In a written response, here's what the Binance CEO shared. While we anticipate a steady capital deployment into these ETFs, it is unlikely to be dramatic initially and will fluctuate based on various macroeconomic factors. However, he also believes these ETF liquidities have the potential to grow exponentially. According to the executive, once the ETFs are approved, they'll be available for institutional players who often consider long-term investments. Quoting him again, this institutional involvement could provide a stable and substantial influx of capital over time, which is precisely what we need in crypto. We need steady influxes of capital so we can get out of that 3 trillion all-time high market cap. Now, he also noted the new development builds on the positive momentum which the space witnessed this year in 2024. The executive said that this solidifies the legitimacy and accessibility of crypto. The upcoming launch of the ETH spot ETF trading in the US marks yet another significant milestone for Ethereum and the broader digital asset market. And like the spot ETFs launched in January, so they've been live just over 6 months, he believes that the first wave of the spot Ether ETFs could provide more avenues for a broader range of investors. The Binance CEO believes that the introduction of the ETFs address key concerns surrounding legitimacy, compliance, and security, making ETH an attractive investment option. overall. So there you go, yo. How many of you are bullish on the Ethereum ETF launch, which could take place here on the 23rd, just in a few days? Holla at your boy, let me know, and I'll check the comments. Now let's discuss some bullishness, eh? $190,000 Bitcoin price target, then a $750,000 Bitcoin price target. Then we'll be discussing Bitcoin hitting $1 million per coin, as well as the latest with Trump announcing a Bitcoin strategic reserve asset thing for the U.S. Treasury, and which has been predicted now by Max Keiser, as well as Dennis Porter, as well as the latest controversy surrounding Donald Trump and Bukele. So stay tuned. So yeah, this headline reads, Bitcoin crazy tight. Bollinger Band points to 190,000. Bitcoin price target. Bitcoin should rise significantly as intense volatility prepares to hit. New analysts predict. In a new post, Julian Patel, head of macro research at financial advisory publication Global Macro Investor, eyed a Bitcoin price of 190 G's. Let's go. Bitcoin has the fuel to launch the six-figure all-time highs if volatility signals play out like in the past. And according to Patel, the current crazy state of the Bollinger Band's volatility indicator demands that Bitcoin rockets higher. Quoting him here, Bollinger Bands are crazy tight by historical standards. Only 2 other months in history have we seen the weekly Bollinger Band so compressed: April 2016 and July of 2023. Bollinger Bands form one of the most essential crypto volatility indicators and also offer insight into the strength of the price trends on the weekly time frames. The gap between the upper and the lower band has rarely been narrower. What traditionally comes next has always been good news for the bulls. During both the previous episodes, the Bitcoin price rose significantly over the following 12 months. Patel continued. A similar move this time around would target Bitcoin within a range of $140,000 to $190,000 per Bitty. Let me know if that sounds good to you. It is not the first time this bull market that the bands have pointed to a major Bitcoin price upside. Constriction precluded the run to local highs just before the launch of the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs. This was, I guess, late 2023. Then last month, Patel made similar forecasts about what the future might have in store for the King Crypto, calling for patience amid the bull market's deepest price drawdown. That's right. And while trader confidence is returning to the price metrics demand that the bull market continues, not everyone is convinced that the timing is right. Lack of mainstream retail investor interest is a notable element, missing from the regular bull market landscape, something which contrasts with the accumulation behavior seen from institutions and whales. And in fact, the previous bull cycle, when we had the run up to 69,000, the previous all-time high, that was purely driven by retail. This particular cycle for us now has been driven, at least this year, off the back of the Bitcoin ETFs, which is virtually all institutional FOMO like a mofo. Comparing the bullish price cycles past and present, Trader Rec Capital suggests September would be the make or break moment for the Bitcoin comeback. Don't call it a comeback. Bitcoin's been here for years. Quoting him here, if history repeats, a Bitcoin breakout from the reaccumulation range would occur September 2024. So there you have it, crypto fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analysts. But yeah, next story of the day, more bullishness, eh? Here we go. Next story, we're going to be discussing $750,000 skyrocket out of this atmosphere, out of the dome, past the moon, to a new dimension. Exactly where Bitcoin is heading. But yeah, check this out. Burnett begins by addressing a common oversight in market analysis, which typically juxtaposes Bitcoin's current cycle against historical performance without accounting for the evolving market context. Quoting him here, I think it's possible that many people are underestimating Bitcoin for this cycle. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. He also stated, emphasizing the necessity to perceive Bitcoin through the lens of its relative position in the total global wealth. Amen to that. I hear that the total addressable market is upwards of $900 trillion. A key component of Burnett's argument is the HODL model created by the rational root, which he discussed extensively on the pod what Bitcoin did. The model pinpoints a critical inflection in 2020, coinciding with the Bitcoin third halving, an event that reduces the number of the new Bitcoin generated and thus awarded to miners for verifying transactions. We more recently just had the fourth ever halving that took place on April 19th, and we actually had a halving party. It was actually pretty lit. Let me know if you attended. Now, he also shared that the model is fascinating because it shows a logical inflection point that occurred in 2020 around the third halving, highlighting the illiquid supply as a percentage of the total supply held at the time of the low percentage, and it's been slowly climbing ever since. According to him, this reflects a shift towards Bitcoin being increasingly held by long-term hodlers rather than circulated by miners and speculators. Post 2020, he argued that Bitcoin has entered a new phase characterized by a diminishing supply of liquid coins. And until the third halving, Bitcoin was really just in the process of distributing coins via proof of work mining. Almost 90% of all the coins were mined by 2020. The subsequent reduction in new coin generation post-halving has spurred a gradual transition from a freely circulating supply to a more tightly held asset. Burnett's forecast also leverages a comparatively analysis with gold, traditionally viewed as a robust store of value. He challenges this notion by highlighting the flaws in gold's economic mechanics, particularly its annual supply increase of 1% to 2%, which introduces continuous sell pressure. Gold has a negative feedback loop, considering it is not perfectly scarce like Bitcoin. Hundreds of billions of dollars in new gold are mined annually. Facts. He also points out, arguing that this diminishes gold's appeal as an investment. Good point. They can always find more gold on the earth, family. Conversely, he describes Bitcoin's halving event as a positive feedback loop, where the decrease in new supply every 4 years inherently drives price appreciation, stimulating new waves of adoption. The amount of the new Bitcoin being mined gets cut in half, like with the Wu-Tang sword. This repeats until no newly released Bitcoin are mined. And zooming out, on a global scale, he references the near quadrillion dollar total global wealth, within which Bitcoin's market cap is just a fraction. He contends the Bitcoin's market cap is poised for significant expansion, potentially commanding a sizable portion of the global wealth. This stands in sharp contrast to the more conservative expectations by various experts, which barely see Bitcoin cross in the 100,000 threshold in the near future. With all that being said, he shared, the concept of diminishing returns could very easily be flawed. We live in a world with nearly $1 quadrillion of total global wealth, and Bitcoin is just 0.1% of that. And now he concludes with a quote from Mikey Saylor. All your models will be broken, and added anything below the size of gold is absurdly early. Gold parity is now at about $750,000 per Bitcoin, meaning if the market size of Bitcoin just reached the market size of gold. And we all know it's inevitable, family. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the bullish sentiment from the analysts. 750 G's, baby. Now for our featured story of the day. Let's discuss Trump making a big announcement next week at the Bitcoin conference for adopting Bitcoin as a Treasury reserve asset for the United States of America, as well as the latest controversy surrounding Trump and Bukele, and the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. Let's dive in right where it all started, July 15th, and Max gets credit first because he's the first one to share this. My understanding is that Trump, when he wins, is announcing a plan to do a Saylor for the U.S. Treasury at the Bitcoin conference. So again, this was 4 days ago. Max was the first one to announce this. Then Dennis Porter the other day on the 18th, yesterday, said, huge breaking news, Trump to announce a USA Bitcoin strategic reserve in Nashville. And he says he has sources. In fact, he put it right below the post. P.S. This is not a joke. My sources are credible. So there you go. First it started with Max, and then Dennis Porter says he has sources to confirm that it is true. Now some other recent tweets from Dennis Porter. People don't believe that the United States of America could implement a Bitcoin strategic reserve, but at this point, it is inevitable. Let me know if you agree. Do you think it's inevitable for the United States? Now, here's a tweet, and actually quoting Trump from last night's speak at the convention. I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. He's also against CBDCs. He's making a stand. He's said that many times. So yeah, former President Trump hit several talking points Dennis Porter has been pushing for years. There's never been a better time to be a Bitcoin miner in the United States. He also says if he is elected president on day one of the job, he promises to pardon Ross Ulbricht. If you'd like to see Ross be pardoned, let me know. Holla. And he also said he would protect the right for Bitcoiners to self-custody in the United States of America, in which Biden is trying to make illegal, along with the three stooges, Senator Warren, Gary Gensler, and Miss Binance, Miss Yellen, Binance. So Max also tweeted today. Now check this out. We're going to actually start by what Trump said last night during the rally. Here's what Trump did. He called out Bukele. He blamed Bukele for sending El Salvador's worst criminals to America. What is Trump smoking? Quoting him here. He's trying to convince everybody what a wonderful job he does in running the country. Well, he doesn't do a wonderful job. And yeah, I got to call out Trump for that as well, because Bukele wasn't sending the worst criminals to America. That's a bunch of BS. I think Haiti was doing that. Mexico is doing that. And Biden's allowing it by not having any borders in the United States. So what's going on with that? That's FUD. But anyways, Max fired back. He wrote this morning, I'd be talking shit too if I just had my ear shot off by the CIA. Trump is wrong as what? Just ask Tucker Carlson. I'm looking forward to July 27th at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville. I am sharing a stage with Trump, and I'll set him straight about El Salvador, Bitcoin country. Respect to the high priest. You already know he's going to hold it down. They'll be speaking on the same stage together, so you already know they'll be getting a few words together. Now, he also shared, Trump is jealous of the true leader of the free world, the new shining city on a hill, President Bukele. Right, Tucker Carlson? See you in a few days. Now, here's a tweet. Nayib Bukele responded, and guess what? I got to respect this. He said, taking the high road. He decided not to drop any drama or chaos or even respond to Trump. He just said, taking the high road. And I respect that. Salvadoran Pride responded, cooler heads prevail. Sergio responded, Trump's son just visited El Salvador. What the frick? And that's so true, because he did. Trump Jr. was actually at the inauguration with Bukele. I was watching it live. So respect to Bukele on that. And yeah, not cool with Trump calling him out with some BS. That's not true. So then Stacy wrote, Trump needs to fire his speechwriter. Now, I mean, more than likely, it was probably something given to him to say. I wouldn't, put that past them. What are your thoughts, family? Let me know. Now, Max also shared when someone wrote this, Trump sent by God and Providence to restore America and bring peace to the world. Max responded, correction. Trump was sent by Satoshi, but needs to make Bitcoin legal tender and get the U.S. into the global hash war, or Satoshi will be angry. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Now, he also wrote this back in November 23rd of 2020. What Trump started, Bitcoin will finish. He also posted this, once Trump embraces Bitcoin, his win in 2024 is a lock. And he wrote this back in 2022, I believe. Yep. January 29th of 2022, more than 2 years ago. Now, Max also just challenged Trump to a round of golf at the El Encanto Country Club. I can't wait to visit and go to this country club and chill with Max. But nonetheless, if Trump had a challenge to a round of golf against, Trump versus Max, let me know who you think would win. That actually would be very interesting. And now I want to share with you something fascinating, which should blow your mind. And welcome everyone joining the stream. This is from Dennis Porter. Adding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve would be a decisive win for America and for Bitcoin. But some wonder, how can it be done? Great question. Here's what it looks like. The most obvious way forward, Exchange Stabilization Fund, ESF, at the U.S. Treasury. Keyword, U.S. Treasury. So yeah, check this out. How can Bitcoin be added as a strategic reserve in the U.S.? Via an ESF. For starters, let's talk about the Exchange Stabilization Fund, which is the ESF. This fund is a special fund operated by the United States Treasury Department. It was established by the Gold Reserve Act of 1934 with the primary objective of stabilizing the value of the U.S. dollar. The ESF provides the Treasury with a tool to engage in currency and gold operations to influence exchange rates and promote stability in the foreign exchange markets. Remember, Bitcoin is in essence considered to be a foreign currency. Key functions of the ESF. Number one, foreign exchange intervention. The ESF can buy and sell foreign currencies and gold, maybe Bitcoin, to influence the value of the dollar. This is often done in coordination with the Federal Reserve to ensure consistently with the broader monetary policy objectives. The interventions can be in the spot market for immediate delivery or forward market for future delivery. Number two, stabilizing the dollar. By intervening in foreign exchange markets, the ESF aims to stabilize the value of the dollar against other currencies. This can help prevent or mitigate exchange rate volatility that could negatively impact international trade and financial stability Number 3, emergency financial operations. The ESF can provide emergency financial support in certain situations, such as financial crises, or to support specific government financial commitments. So how exactly can Bitcoin be added to the ESF? Well, integrating Bitcoin into the ESF would be a novel undertaking, given Bitcoin's unique architecture compared to traditional currencies and commodities. Here's how it could potentially be approached. Number 1, holding Bitcoin as a reserve asset. The ESF could start by holding Bitcoin as part of its reserve assets, similar to how it holds foreign currencies and gold. This would diversify the assets of the ESF and provide a hedge against inflation and currency devaluation. Number 2, Bitcoin interventions. The ESF could use Bitcoin in its interventions to stabilize the dollar or other currencies. For example, it could buy or sell Bitcoin to influence its exchange rate relative to the dollar. They should just hodl, though. This would be similar to its current operations with foreign currencies and gold. Number 3, liquidity provision. During periods of financial stress, the ESF could provide liquidity in Bitcoin to markets or institutions in need, helping to stabilize financial conditions and support market confidence. And number 4, policy coordination. Any move to integrate Bitcoin into the ESF would require close coordination with financial regulatory bodies to ensure the process is smooth and consistent. And a bonus executive order: end the U.S. Marshall auctions of confiscated Bitcoin and transfer $5.5 billion of BTC into the ESF at Treasury. This may require an executive order. The benefit is the United States doesn't have to buy in the open market. Brilliant. The path forward is clear, but it could take, and it will take, courage. If the USA can be bold and lead the world here, we will have a strategic Bitcoin advantage that could bolster the U.S. economy and the dollar for decades to come. So there you have it, crypto fam. And if the United States is to do that with Trump, how do you think that will impact the Bitcoin price on a global scale? Holla at your boy, family, and welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show. And let me know if that gets you lit, because that's very exciting to hear how it could be implemented, Bitcoin into the U.S. Treasury. And do you think Trump will do that? It's the $1 million question. Let me know. Trump was just misinformed on the resource he was given by the Bitcoin country. Doesn't that make more sense to you all? We'll see if he apologizes. Let's see what he says at the conference. So mitigate this: Bitcoin to 1 million USD in the next 12 months, Bitcoin to 3 million before the next halving. Send it. He has gone through a lot. He is just something twisted how it came out bad, or info. Yeah, hopefully he just mixed up El Salvador with like Mexico or something, because that's where they're all coming from. All the cartel gang members are just flowing into the United States. There's no border. There's no freaking border. Orange Pill, that was right. I also knew that Bukele and Trump were word. Hard to keep up with the comments, but keep them flowing. Just tagged you. MK tweet challenging Trump to the goal match. Nice. Max will school Trump about the biddy. Hopefully Trump will use his good ear and listen. Well said, Don. Correction, Trump just sent by God. We're spread by God to help God save this country, a la Bukele, but we have to save our country right now while respecting others. But Trump did compliment Bukele.